Familia, this is one of the best glute isolation exercises in order to target your bunda. But what happens when you don't have machines like this in your gym? There's actually alternatives that we can use, and today this is what I'm going to show you. Before I show you the alternative, and we need to talk about why it is so good. So let's look at the movement at the moment, okay? As you can see, the peak of the movement is when I'm coming up, okay? Hence when I'm squeezing as hard as I can at the top. Exercises, for example, like squats, deadlifts, RDLs instead, they all focus on you stretching your glutes, okay? So this is an opposite exercise if you think about it, because the peak of the movement during the squat, we know that is when we come down, all the way down, and what's happening here, our glute muscles are stretching indeed. This is when is the peak of the movement. Now, if you want to target your glutes from all angles and make astronomical gains, like the best gains that you know, you have to make sure that you target your glutes and you do different exercises that target your glutes from different angles and also target your glutes in different ways. Okay, familia, I'm here at the Smith machine. And yes, you guessed right. We can actually replicate exactly the same movement at the Smith machine. So how do we build it? The first thing, we're going to be placing 2 plates, and these need to be big enough, big and heavy, so that they can kind of sustain the weight and not make us slip, okay? So for me, I'm using 20 kilos plate, which I would place just behind my feet, okay? This will prevent me from sliding when I do this exercise. It will be safer and more secure. Another thing you'll need is our little friend here that I told you I've demonized it for squats, but actually you can use for other things. If it's useless for squats, we can use it for other things, like for example this one. This will help us protect the hips. Now, you can get this from Amazon if your gym doesn't provide you one, so it's accessible. Now, in terms of the Smith machine, what we're going to be doing instead is basically, like you can see, I place this here, okay, at this level. And the level, listen to me, this will be dependent on you as a person, on your height, okay? So you'll have to obviously lower the bar for this, but you have to test it before to try and understand what the right height for me. Because what I did before, for example, before I put it here at my hip height, and I was basically placing so, and what we want to do is make sure that I'm leaning against this. But like you can see, the range of motion like this is not great. I can't go low enough for this. So what you can do is basically test it. And that's why the Smith machine is great for this, because obviously you can lower it down or lift it up as you please. And it's much easier as well. Even if you have that machine, for example, in the gym, and you have the opportunity to do this and you feel a little bit shorter or anything like this, this is actually a little bit more effective because you can change it more easily. And what we do, we simply test it out. So you will lean against it, okay, forward, and it's nice and stable because the Smith machine is designed to keep a lot of weight, okay, on each side, so you don't have to worry about this. And what I want you to do is do exactly the same movement. So go down and drive up with your glutes to basically drive your body up, okay? So it's exactly the same thing that you're doing with the machine. Why is this exercise important as well? First of all, it's a glute isolation exercise. It means that it's different from compounds. So if you want to grow your glutes more instead of your legs, for example, it's good to have glute isolation exercises because they will help you focus more on your glutes, okay? If you want me to create, by the way, a plan personalized to you based on the equipment that you have in your gym, because I'm aware that some equipment will not be available for everyone, I can give you immediate substitutes based on you, on your anatomy, on your body. I can guide you through every single step of the way. For this, link in bio for one-to-one online coaching. Now, let's do this with the weight. But before that, we need to understand the form, right? How the hell are we doing this? We need to do this right. Now, there is 2 ways to do this, okay? The first way is that you keep your spine neutral, okay? You go down and then up using your glutes, squeezing your glutes as you drive up. But the problem with this is that some people that are a little bit more lower back dominant will start feeling it a little bit more in the lower back, especially as they start to go heavier. So a tip for people that don't actually want to target the lower back at all because they tend to engage it too much is to arch and round your back, okay? So I'll just give you like a little bit of a side profile so you can see what I mean exactly. This is me standing straight, okay? And this is me me rounding my upper back as much as I can, okay? And you don't have to worry because this is completely safe and tested. It won't affect your glutes. Both ways will target your glutes equally, okay? Or similarly anyway. But the difference is the lower back engagement. If you're someone that struggles with lower back, I would recommend arching more your back. But ultimately, what I always suggest, familia, is that you should always try both ways, because just because someone says this works for me, this is the best thing on earth that I've ever tried, doesn't mean that it's the same for you, because every person is different anatomically speaking. They might have different mobility, different joints, okay? So it's important to test different variations when you do an exercise and see, okay, this works for this person, but it might not work for me. And after this, I'll give you a couple of alternatives that are literally target the same muscle, okay? And in the same movement, the concentric movement, the squeeze, which is also very important, okay, that we spoke at the beginning, if you also felt that this didn't just work for you. As well, when you place your plates, you might need to play around a little bit. As you can see, I put mine quite far away from me. I'm here and the machine is there, so I literally like fall. It's like almost a fall into it to create that incline position with my body. But for you, you can test different, obviously depends how long your legs are, right? So you can put them a little bit closer or a little bit further away. One thing that I like to do, okay? And on the floor we go for me. So this is to show you the other variation, and let's see if some people are already guessing. This is the glute bridge. Glute bridge or hip thrust, or like all the variation. Why? When we do this exercise and we come up, guess what happens? The peak of the movement is right up there squeezing. Amazing, okay? So as long as we're doing it right, we should be feeling it in our glutes. So this is another alternative that is also very good and the works on the, I feel like I'm on the beach right now. This is another alternative that is also very good to work on that squeezing part. Now, there is other alternatives or exercises that you can do. For example, I like to do the reverse high press on the Smith machine. Now, it's a little bit harder to perform for beginners. That's why I'm not showing it. But however, if you want me to do a video on how to execute it, let me know in the comments, because I can also do this. But it's really, really good to work on the squeezing part of your glute. Anyway, familia, I hope you enjoyed this and you find this useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, see you next time with another video, familia. Ciao.